This is John the Witness on the Mind Blowers channel, bringing you hardcore Bible facts. In a previous video called Prophecy, What Kings of the East Crossed the Euphrates, I bring up the notion that we have to be careful not to assume that the human rulers of this world are perfectly united against us. The spiritual kingdom of Satan is united as Jesus Christ told us, but that's not necessarily true of Satan's human children. Satan and his demons hate all mankind and are bent on destroying us all, which is why Jesus said the days had to be shortened. Thus, the book of Revelation mentions the kings of the east crossing a dried up Euphrates. By qualifying them as being from the east, the Bible is telling us there are kings of the west, so setting up an east versus west war. Elsewhere in Revelation, we see there are 10 final kings, the 10 toes of Daniel 2, that will hate the whore Babylon the Great. This also implies a split, as the great whore is a massive economic, industrial, spiritual complex that rides over the beast. Although her merchants will weep when she is destroyed, not all governments will mourn, mainly those allied with the 10 kings. And yet another end-time divide is between North and South. Daniel 11 and 12 goes into excruciating, complex detail describing the long relationship between the king of the North and the king of the South for the past few thousand years, all the way until the return of Jesus Christ shortly ahead in our future. At one point, we learn that both kings speak lies to each other at the same table, called the negotiating table these days. Why do they speak lies? Because they know the news media is going to purposely spin their discussions when they report about it to the public. So they use deceptive symbols and numbers to send signals to the insiders without the public knowing what they mean. But also the fact that they speak lies to each other speaks to the idea that there is a fundamental rift between them, yet they are in a functional alliance to keep the rift in check. Therefore, this is yet another characteristic of international relations that shows us that an uneasy but necessary alliance keeps the world powers in checks and balances until the end comes. They are not perfectly united, but are in a fragile alliance to pimp the masses under their authority. As the spirit of the Antichrist becomes more prevalent, at some point this fragile, brittle as clay alliance, Daniel 2 called it brittle iron clay, will break, and the factions will go at each other, east versus west, north versus south, the beastly 10 kings versus the great whore. Keep this in mind. I'm John the Witness. Stay strong in the faith of Jesus Christ. Amen.